Ortho, we've had before. You know that means straight. Orthopnea or orthopnea, however you want to say it, orthopnea, orthopnea. So you know nea means breathing. Nea means breathing, so literally breathing straight or breathing correct. And so what's actually going on is this person cannot breathe unless they're sitting straight up. So they'll need 2, 3 or more pillows in order to breathe. So they could not sleep laying down. It would not be easy for them to breathe. Osmia, osmia means smell, smell. So anosmia, someone's lost that sense of smell. Oxy-free, so is oxygen. So hypoxemia, someone literally is a blood condition of less than normal oxygen. Para, just 2 meanings of para are beside or surrounding. You know it also means 2 like parts. So paratonsillar is pertaining to beside the tonsils. Pectoro is chest, so pectoral as in pectoral muscles. Pharyngo is throat, pharynx, so pharyngoscope. Phonia and phono we've seen before. So we speak on a telephone. Our voice carries over the telephone. So dysphonia, literally an abnormal, a condition of abnormal voice. And so what's really going on there, that is hoarseness. Now dysphonia is not the same thing as laryngitis. Laryngitis, inflammation of the voice box. But dysphonia, someone is just hoarse. They're just hoarse. Freno, we've had before, diaphragm or mind. Use this one for diseases and procedures related to the diaphragm. So a frenectomy, we're not surgically removing the mind, but surgically removing the diaphragm. So again, remember the ancient Greeks thought that the diaphragm was where thought and learning came from, and so that's why freno means those 2 totally different things. Neo is breathing, so eupnea or eupnea, someone's breathing correctly, they don't have any problems. Ptysis, again PT, when PT is at the beginning, the P is silent, so ptysis, so Mike Tyson should have spit instead of bit. So hemoptysis, someone is spitting up blood. Pyro, very easy to get dyslexic and confuse them. Pyo is pus. The pie was made of pus. That'd be really gross. And pyro means heat or fire, but when it's actually put into a medical word, it morphs, it changes into fever. So pyothorax, we literally have pus in the chest, and antipyretics would be a class of medicines to help reduce fevers. Pleuro, now again, you're going to hear plur as in pleurisy. But again, I try to be precise. So pleuro, say the second vowel, which in this case is a U sound. So pleuro is talking about the pleura, which is a double-folded membrane that lines the thoracic cavity. So pleura, pluri, and so it's this membrane that allows the lungs and the ribs to slide across each other. Pneumono means lung or air. So you've heard of pneumatic tools. And so they use air in order to power them. Pulmon on that lung, so pulmonary, pertaining to the lung. Ray means again, and so respiratory, we're talking about breathing again, spiro breath, breathing. Rhino nose, so rhinoplasty, not nasoplasty, rhinoplasty. And there's stomato for mouth, so stuff the tomato in your mouth, so stomatitis, inflammation of the mouth. So oro for anatomy, stomato for diseases, procedures. Ray, as in drainage. So you know diarrhea, excuse me, not ray, rhea. So rhinorrhea literally drainage or flow of the nose. And you know that Joe or Jane would call that a runny nose. Septo is a septum, it's a partition, it's a wall. In this chapter, the septum is referring to the wall that separates the two nasal passages. So septoplasty, that's being surgically repaired, versus the septum of the heart. Silico is silica, well that's quartz. And so silicosis, another one of those industrial diseases, something that people get from their work environment. So someone who works at a sand mine, or maybe someone working in a glass factory might be susceptible to silicosis. Sinoso is sinus, so hollow cavities in a bone. And ptysis, cough or spit, so that's in there twice. So hemoptysis, coughing or spitting blood. Spiro or spiro is breath, breathing. It also means a coil as in a spiral shape, so it depends on the word, which meaning is appropriate. So, so this next word is not spirometer. It's not spirometer. Think of thermometer. So this is a spirometer or spirometer. Stethochest, so stethoscope, an instrument used to view the chest, but we know that they're literally listening to it. Thorax, thoraco, chest cavity. So thoracocentesis, surgical puncture of the chest cavity. Hemothorax, someone has blood in it. Now thora means chest, but it is a corruption of the combining form thoraco. So, so really and truly, the word should be thoracocentesis. But through the years, the language has been corrupted. The language is slurred together. So thoracentesis is now an acceptable term. And you'll actually hear that more than you will thoracocentesis. So thoracentesis. Tome, not tomey, tome, an instrument to cut. So tonsillotome, we're cutting the tonsils. Tonsillo is tonsils, so tonsillectomy. Now do make an important spelling note. The medical combining form has two L's. The English word has one L. So tonsillectomy has two L's. Tracheo is the trachea, that's the windpipe, So tracheostomy, surgically creating a new opening in the trachea. For those of you that are MASH fans, there's an episode in MASH, the television show, about the Korean War surgeons, that Father Mulcahy, who is the priest, is sent to the battle zone to bring back a wounded soldier, and the guy starts having difficulty breathing, and so Father Mulcahy, under radio guidance from Hawkeye and the other meatball surgeons, uses a penknife and the tube of an ink pen to perform a tracheostomy. Again, don't try this at home. It was purely for dramatic effect. But for all intents and purposes, they're putting a small hole into the windpipe and inserting a structure so that the patient can breathe. Tubo is a tube, so intubate is something that is putting a tube in. Tuberculo is tubercle or tuberculosis, which is small nodules. Tusso is cough. Now, important when you're going to the drugstore looking for medication. So if someone has a bad cough, they would want to take an antitussive medication. Laparo, we've had that before, so abdominal wall. Tomy, incision into, so laparosplenotomy. So surgically, in surgical incision into the abdominal wall and spleen. And again, notice while tonsil, English has one L, and the medical has two L's. The English spleen has two E's, where the medical has one E.